Hello, I'm Casey,
And I'm Mackenzie,
and this is Field Notes from the Unknown.
a podcast about your favorite local cryptid. So, Casey, today is episode 2 of our 6, possibly 7 episode series on the proof of Bigfoot.
The proof of Bigfoot. As if
The proof
that
is out there.
recording in Monday's episode wasn't enough. I should
Wasn't that
stand corrected.
incredible?
In the episode that's named It's All Knocks and Howls.
Mm-hmm.
If that howl wasn't enough for you guys, I don't know. Because that gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, that is probably the second most fascinating audio. I'll save the first most fascinating audio for a future episode in this series. And of course, everybody out there who is in the cryptid world has heard of the Patterson-Gimlin film, which is probably the,
Is that
best-
the walking one?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. That's the best example of well-known Sasquatch video. But tonight's episode, I will be talking about a lesser-known video of that's just really specifically fascinating.
Ooh,
So,
okay. You have
yeah.
my attention.
Well, let's set the scene, shall we?
Yes.
All right. I want you to picture this. It is a hot, humid night in early July. The crickets are cricketing.
And I'm dying.
You're dying. You're somewhere in the Florida Panhandle. The forest around you is thick with palmetto and vines and
Ooh.
pine trees. It's dense. You can barely see 30 feet ahead of you.
I'm like
And
already having a heat stroke.
Yeah, you're worried that every single vine in front of you might be a venomous snake or a boa constrictor, which, of course, thrive in the Florida heat.
Yeah.
You're on your way home when suddenly you get that spine-chilling sensation on the back of your neck. You feel all of the hair standing up on end, and you start looking around, and you catch something out of the corner of your vision. And what you see shocks you because they don't have orangutans in the forests around Okeechobee, Apakachapataba, Florida.
Is this... Did you just create a place in Florida?
I believe the town's name is Apalachicola.
Apalachicola.
Apalachicola. They don't
Is it
have...
spelled Apalachicola?
Kind of. It's spelled Apalachicola.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the scene. Enough. Back to the scene. They don't have orangutans in the forests around Apalachicola Forest.
They couldn't have
So
been
what
an orangutan.
What is this creature?
What is it?
What are your guesses, Casey? What is it?
First off, is there a zoo around? Could it be an orangutan that just got out?
We'll talk about it.
And 2, people in Florida are crazy. Not all of them, most of them. Where they also like to have exotic animals and just let them loose.
That is true. Gator
So
Man
that's
is a thing.
another
Yes.
one.
Also, so on that note, 2 side things about Florida that I just feel like we have to just get out there now is that, 1, somebody thought it'd be a great idea to release fucking saltwater crocodiles into the Florida Everglades. So now there are saltwater crocodiles mixing with the alligator population in Florida, and I'm never going to Florida. Never. I'm never going to Florida.
You know, but I think Floridians are so used to that. Like, they're just going to be chilling at their pool with an alligator like 5 feet from them.
Okay, but crocodiles and alligators are apex predators for a reason. And then the other thing is there are so many in the big, ball python pet boom, so many wild snakes got released in the fucking Everglades that they're now an endemic species. So there are people that go out there and pick up 100 fucking boa constrictors in a goddamn night
That's
in the Everglades.
insane. That's
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah,
One
I'm
of
never
my
fucking going to Florida.
fears, and I think we've talked about this, is a snake coming up my plumbing and biting me while I'm going to the bathroom.
Well, that's what you're gonna get on the
When
Everglades
you go to
toilet,
Florida?
is
Damn.
a python up your bumhole.
That's not even a good thing.
I don't make the rules. Yeah, not like a good python. Plus, less stuff you have
Um,
to really prepare for. Anyway.
I'm not gonna pay.
To each their own, you know?
Okay, so those were my
Anyway.
2 guesses. Escaped from a
Mhm,
zoo or some
mhm.
poor animal drug over here against their will by some really intelligent person who thought it would be a good idea to have it as a pet.
Well, let me present to you a third option. The skunk ape.
The skunk ape?
The skunk ape.
Is this a mutant skunk?
Okay, so that is an interesting question, which
Someone dumped toxic waste into the Florida Everglades, and a poor skunk thought it was water. Lo and behold, the skunk ape was born.
So the
It's
actual
like
source.
Professor accidentally dropped Chemical X,
What's
and
hilarious is
thus
that
the skunk
actually.
ape was born.
I mean, it's possible. I can't rule it out. Rebuttal for that one.
Okay, I also want to go back to the story. Who walks home in the jungle at night?
Florida
Like, is that
people.
an actual story?
There's an entire website called Florida Man, which, people from Florida do crazy things. Hashtag hello, Florida listeners. Hello. We love you. Please don't stop listening to us. You know it's true. You live there.
Have you seen the skunk ape?
Yes.
And why
If
are
you
you
don't,
walking home in the middle of a jungle where literally a apex predator could just snatch ya,
send us your field notes.
snatch ya? Yeah, if you live, send us your field notes. If
Yeah.
not,
Sayonara.
pre-package them and, do it that way.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. So the skunk ape is a bipedal hominoid thought to be between 5 to 8 feet tall and covered in mottled red to brown fur. It is often described as an upright orangutan, but bigger, and more broad-shouldered.
I'm
Um,
confused where the skunk comes in.
so this is a good question. So the source of the name skunk ape is actually kind of a hotly debated thing in the field. Um, Pop culture would suggest that the term skunk ape is because of the putrid odor emitted by these swamp beasts, which people believe is because of the methane gas that builds up in the swamp and then gets into the fur and then is released.
Okay.
So that's one thought. The other thought is that it actually comes from one of the first field researchers that started investigating Florida in like the 90s and early 2000s, which is Daniel Perez, who's authored a bunch of books, and he claims to have investigated a red-brown Sasquatch with a white stripe down its back, like a skunk. Hence skunk ape.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So a lot of debate goes on about this.
I get the skunk part.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah. The
Yeah.
smell, yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that differentiates our skunk apes from maybe our more northerly bipedal primates is that oftentimes skunk apes are described as having 4 toes as opposed to 5.
Why?
That's a hard question. Um, to me, I think about, my bro, Cliff Barrickman, who says that the shape of a footprint in the ground is not per se the shape of the foot, but rather the shape of how the foot interacts with the ground.
Ah, yes, that is good. That
Mhm.
is I never thought of it like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout
So,
out to your
right,
bro.
is maybe it's not really, maybe it's something to do with the soil, doesn't detect a
Yeah.
4th toe. I don't know. But I
Um,
really can't. I really think that this is the same creature we see in the north, but just, a regional variant.
And when you refer to the north, you're meaning Bigfoot, correct?
Meaning Bigfoot.
I thought so.
As this
Um,
is episode 2 of Bigfoot
the
Believers
the
Incorporated.
Bigfoot trilogy.
Yeah,
Um, so you're saying this is just Bigfoot's smelly, uglier cousin?
possibly. And so we refer to this creature as the skunk ape, but it also has other regional names in the Florida, Alabama, Georgia area. And those names include the stink ape, which I've been called a stinky ape occasionally.
Oh
The
my god, who called you that? And I need their name, their address
I
for
probably hadn't
research
showered in like
purposes.
3 days.
I don't care.
It's also been called the Shawanoki, which is a Native American word. Um, it's also been called the swamp monkey, the swamp man, the swamp monster, and possibly my favorite, the Barden booger.
The Barden Booger.
Yes.
I will say my favorite name for Bigfoot is the Wood Booger.
The woodburger, yeah. And the woodburger tends to be a southern thing. So that I
I
think leads into Florida, but also in other parts of the South as well.
Okay, so
Mhm.
I want to touch. You mentioned Native Americans have a name for this.
Yes.
When is the first sighting of the skunk ape?
So there are oral histories that date back for generations. We don't have a first date of the Native American people because it was just an assumption, kind of like in other parts of North America, that they were just always here. So both Shamanoki as well as Esti Kapkaki are indigenous names, meaning either the furry tall man or the hairy giant. And those come from both the Seminole Indians as well as the Miccosukee tribes that historically, just for generations, have had run ins with what they would call a protector of the forest.
Okay,
Yeah. But, we don't ever put stock in Native American lores for whatever reason. So
we should.
we absolutely should.
Like 100%.
And on this podcast, we do.
We do, yes.
Yes, we absolutely do. The first ever encounter by a white man
A white man? No!
was by a Mr. David Porter in 1823. And I've got the direct quote from him that was published in the newspapers at the time. So this is the quote. I could see it was larger than a bear, and yet clearly not a man, but not unlike a large ape. When the shot fired off, because of course the fucker shot at it,
Of
right? Like,
course they want to shoot it. God.
the creature seemed to duck before turning and disappearing into the trees. And
So it's
then,
intelligent.
yes. And then, in the moments that followed, a powerful odor washed over our gathering, as if a great skunk had sprayed us with its disapproval.
Yeah, I would. Do you think the gas, obviously, like skunks use it as a defense mechanism,
Mhm.
but do you think that this gas could potentially knock out people and then the skunk ape can take him back to their lair and I don't know, do what with, but if someone shot at me and I was the skunk ape, I would not be doing nice things to you.
Have their skunky way with him, perhaps. Yes.
I'd probably have a really nice dinner for 2 days.
Roasted human. Again, not the first time I've mentioned cannibalism on this podcast.
I think we're going in a row. I think it was the last
Well,
4 we talked about cannibalism.
I know. To fairly address that question, there is
We're
no
completely
other,
fine.
right?
And
There
these
is
are
no other
all
primate
hypotheticals.
There's no other primate species that uses smell in that way, except for I've met some men that would tend to use smell in that way. But, neither here nor there.
Yeah.
It's not like ants, like those formic acid spraying ants, like have a way to like bottle
Oh,
up
yeah.
gases and like project them at people. But I've not heard of a mammal that has that capability.
Uh, Deer? Well, no, hold on.
Well,
That's for
skunks,
mating
obviously.
season.
Wait,
So
what?
deer use the scent when when people go hunting, they use doe urine sometimes to attract the bucks.
That's
It's
wild.
weird, yes, but the smell gets the buck to come to them, especially, like, if it's during what do they call it? Rut?
Yeah.
When they're all mating,
Yeah.
but that's not I mean, I guess it is kind of luring something in
Mhm.
to its untimely death.
Yeah. I
So,
know
yeah.
they've definitely tried to use, like, ape pheromone chips or, like, chimpanzee pheromone chips to attract Bigfoot and Sasquatch, with some success, not, like, super great success, but that has been a thing people have tried.
I think I've heard that,
But I also
but
kind of remember, like, our episode about, oh my gosh, what was his name? The turtle. Oh, the Beast of Busco. Remember when
yes,
they tried to use the sea turtle to lower
to
out the Beast of Busco?
and he's like, "Nah,
Yeah,
I know
not his
that's
thing.
not me."
So,
Yeah,
like, what's to say
I
that a Sasquatch wouldn't have any kind of reaction to pheromones from, like, a female chimpanzee? Like, that's a completely different species.
than the Sasquatch, yes,
Yeah.
and obviously, Sasquatch are intelligent species.
Mhm.
So, duh, they're not gonna come because it's an ape and they're not interested.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So, there are a couple of hot spots across the entire state of Florida that we see the majority of skunk ape um sightings. And this is kind of crazy to me because I don't think, especially like us northerners, we don't realize the amount of land that exists in Florida. But these are some hot spots and then the approximate acreage of the hot spots. So the first one, of course, is Everglades. Um,
Mhm.
land of alligators, crocodiles, and boa constrictors. Um, but Everglades clocks in at over 500,000 acres of land,
Oh,
most of
wow.
which is unreachable unless you have an airboat and, like, some really big balls.
That's
Right?
wild. I wanna get an airboat.
Me too. It sounds, but I also worry about, like, hitting birds with, like, my bike, like, those big old propellers they have that just seem so destructive, but also fun.
Um, how's it any different than being in an airplane?
That's true. That's true. I wouldn't want an airplane, though,
What
because
happens?
so many disasters happen with airplanes that are, like, the private airplanes.
It's the private ones you gotta watch out for.
Yeah. Another big hotspot is Lake Okeechobee, which is a massive lake, which is north of the Everglades and then kind of to the west of Miami.
Okay.
Another big space is the Mi Miaka River State Park, which is nearly a 50,000 acre refuge south of Tampa. So think about, like, Tampa, Orlando, Miami, and then the bottom of Florida. Like, we're kind of painting a picture of this all just being absolute desolate wilderness.
Yeah.
Of course, there is Apalachicola that we talked about, which is actually up in the Panhandle. Apalachicola is over 500,000 acres of land. And then the other big location is the Big Cypress Natural Preserve, which is about 1,000,000 acres directly west of Miami. So
Ooh. So there's
just,
not what I'm hearing is there's not just one skunk ape.
oh no, oh no, oh
There's
no, they're
several
across
different
the state.
families, generations.
Uh huh. Yeah. So just those big parks we talked about compromise about 2.5 million acres of land, which is about the same size as Yellowstone alone.
Oh,
That's
shit.
insane.
That is nuts.
And
That is
then
nuts.
if you clock up all the other undeveloped parts of Florida, there's 10.7 million acres of undeveloped land in Florida. So you're telling me that you don't think there could be an undiscovered species that's been talked
Oh,
about
I
for generations?
100% agree with you. Oh, absolutely. There there's so much undiscovered stuff. I, what are you talking about? Of course, it's out there.
10.7 million acres of land that is just desolate, full of alligators, snakes, mosquitoes, and, attacked by hurricanes. But, like, a migratory species doesn't give a fuck. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like those lands are full of deer. They're full of swamp rats. They're full of beaver. They're full of reptiles. So
Of
many
things
different,
we don't know yet
yeah, and
and might
sources,
never know
yeah, and sources of protein for a large bipedal primate.
to survive for a very long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, do you want to get into more sighting reports?
Yes, I have a question. Is he always red with a white stripe?
Not always.
Okay.
So the white stripe seems to come really from the Danny Perez encounter.
Okay.
Sometimes, um, probably the most well-known picture of a skunk ape is the red with the white stripe. And we'll pull that up here in a few minutes and talk about that one. But sometimes people see a creature that looks very similar to the more northern Sasquatch that's more gorilla-like and really brown or gray and less red. Um, but, one thing I think about is Florida is the sunshine state, right? Um, think about Merv and Lucy, and if
Mhm.
they're black cats, right? But if they sit in the sun for a long, long time, their hair starts to go red on the ends. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
It happens to Ellie and
And then
Espresso.
I'm like, why are you sitting in the sun? Because you're like 1,000 degrees right now.
And they're loving it.
Yes.
They're like, "No, mom,
They're
this is the
loving,
best."
yeah, they're like, this is exactly what I want. But I have noticed that, yes.
What if it's just that the actual core of that fiber is a red-brown, but when the sun picks it up like that, it bleaches it to an extent that they look more reddish?
Ah,
I don't know.
okay.
I don't
That
know.
could
This is the Mackenzie take.
that could be, though. I think the
Well,
Mackenzie takes on to something.
thank you.
But
Thank
let's
you.
get into these encounters.
So, sightings picked up in the 60s and 70s, which followed the release of a lot of films like Legend of Boggy Creek, which we'll save for a different episode because that's a whole
Mhm.
other thing by itself. But um, I feel like Sasquatch entered the zeitgeist like in the 60s and 70s in a way that it never really had before. And also in that time, there was a lot more influx of people going in some of those previously undeveloped parts of Florida and building developments and condominiums and housing projects. So inevitably, whenever that happens, species come into conflict.
You're
So
disturbing it.
absolutely. So in 2000, a series of photos were sent anonymously to the Sarasota, Florida Police Department. They showed a really terrifying creature with these huge, menacing teeth, glowing red eyes, and this long, shaggy red brown hair, and a large patch of white, almost like a collar across the chest. And the creature is seen leaning out from behind of this massive palmetto leaf. The photos came with a letter stating the animal had been visiting a woman's back porch, creating a huge ruckus and stealing apples for 3 consecutive nights. The police investigated and figured out that the creature was visiting a home that was on the outskirts of Miaka River State Park. And therefore, they dubbed the creature the Miaka Skunk Ape after the river. Um,
Oh.
Story goes that in the early 2000s, again, that near residential housing was going up, causing conflict. And I don't know about you, but when I first saw these pictures, it was actually on Monster Quest, one of our favorite TV
Mhm.
shows. I was terrified. I had legitimate
I
nightmares.
I don't know what you expect when you're going into new development, especially in a spot where you're unsure of what could be lurking.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Like,
And
what do you expect?
yeah, you're gonna upset native creatures that are living out in the woods, and you may get more than you bargained for.
It's like
Um,
the poltergeist, but the skunk ape is actually a thing and not a poltergeist.
Absolutely. And
You
some
know?
people said that the Miyaka skunk ape was just an escaped orangutan, but I don't know about you. I've never seen an orangutan that looks like that thing.
No.
The Miyaka images are haunting in
I
a way
also
that,
want proof that Florida has a zoo with orangutans in it in the vicinity, and has there ever been any escapees? So,
So I could never find in research any evidence of escapees, but
then it
Florida is the land of a lot of issues with the exotic pet trade. Um, and there's a couple key spots where there are some breeders that breed things. So, like Big Cypress National Preserve, that we'll get into a little bit later with another really kind of key player in this Skunk Ape game. There is a primate farm, quote unquote, that is to the north of Big Cypress, but they've never been stated to have creatures as big as an orangutan. They've had, remember those monkeys? What were those monkeys that they had in the lab in Puerto Rico? Do you remember those?
the chimpanzees or like the
They weren't
tinier monkeys?
chimpanzees, tinier ones. They had smaller ones. They never had a big primate like
I
an
can
orangutan.
picture them in my head, but I do
Yeah.
not know the name of them.
And inevitably, it's we can't rule out that there was an escaped orangutan, but it doesn't account. There'd have to be a lot of escaped orangutans to come up with a breeding population of orangutans in Florida.
To
And not
have this
only
many
that,
sightings and many
yeah,
areas that they're
yeah,
sighted in, this can't just be one orangutan
absolutely not.
jumping, like, traveling literally every night almost.
Absolutely not. We talked in the last Bigfoot episode about the BFRO, the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization.
Mhm.
Um, they clock 345 published accounts of the skunk ape. And again, they publish only accounts that they can independently verify. So they get about 100 times that of
That's
reports.
still a lot of published verified accounts.
That's nearly half a million published,
And
well,
I don't
half a
know
million unverified
what the
accounts.
lifespan of a primate is, so let's say it was a primate, there's no way it's still out there.
And the
And
other
if it's doesn't have other primates to mate with, these occurrences wouldn't continuously be happening still.
and the other thing is the heights just don't match and the weights just don't match. So adult male orangutans max out at about 6 feet tall. Females max out at about 4 feet tall. They don't get 8 feet tall. They just don't. So it doesn't fit. It just doesn't
Does
fit.
not fit. It's two
So
orangutans and a skunk ape suit.
yes.
That's what it is.
Right? But could you imagine? That's the thing too. People are like, no, these videos and these photos are just people in like monkey suits. Have you been to Florida, my dude? Like, do you know how fucking humid it is there? Do you know how many
Right?
goddamn mosquitoes would be stuck in that
Be
fucking
like, do
monkey suit
you
with you?
really want to get in that gross suit
Like,
with another person?
that's insane. Plus, like, you think you're gonna walk around in a swamp full of fucking water moccasins and like things that are gonna bite the shit out of you without being able
Yeah.
to see where you're going? Like, come on. Come on. Think logically here.
Come on, and keep up with me.
Mhm. So, you know that I'm a big friend of finding Bigfoot.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
the Finding Bigfoot crew spent 3 episodes in Florida throughout the length of the series. And throughout these visits, they repeatedly went to the same family that owns a property up near Apalachicola, which I don't think this is actually their real name. I think this is just the moniker they used for the show, but they called them the Bridges family. And they had what people refer to as a habituation thing. So, habituation is allegedly when a group of Bigfoots are living in close harmony with a group of humans and they get almost used to each other. So, you up the sightings, you see them frequently, they develop a relationship with you. So, the Bridges family has had multiple encounters across decades. Up to and including being kept awake at night by howls and shrieks from the woods that don't sound like a man, don't sound like a dog, sounds like a big ass monkey.
Mhm.
They have traded gifts back and forth with these creatures. And then, interestingly, they also have found both footprints and handprints left on their screen door that was not reproducible by a human.
Have they tried to? Now, I'm not for hurting animals, okay? But have they just tried to put, I don't know, nails in a board to just to get some DNA?
I don't think that the British ever had. Um, of course, that is a thing that they did try on Monster Quest.
I
Wasn't on
remember the
purpose, but you remember
episode.
that? Yeah, that was from
Yep. It was at the
out of
cabin and it
Ontario,
was
I think.
yeah, it was like
Yeah,
really old and they did get something from it.
they pulled DNA from it. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
and we'll deep dive DNA a little bit in our summation episode on Bigfoot about why DNA is an ongoing challenge and where we might be going with that as a field. So, everyone, please keep on tuning in and don't get bored because I freaking love this stuff and I want you to love it too.
Mm.
So, honestly, I feel like this is the crazy thing to me is to me, the density of Bigfoots must be, or Skunk Ape must be a lot higher in southern Florida with the Everglades, with Big Cypress, and all the things going on down there. But the most interesting pieces of evidence tend to come out of the panhandle, which is fascinating. And maybe it's a population density thing, like if there's not
Interesting.
a person
Yeah.
to hear the forest tree sucker fall or whatever, kind of issue.
You should just like someone needs to just set up a trail cam. So they have a live stream of Skid Row out
Yeah.
there that
Yeah.
does every day. Can we just get a live stream of the fucking Everglades? Like someone just something up out there that where you only gotta like check out once a week.
That would be, I mean, that's a good idea, honestly. I would, but again, think about how fucking big the Everglades is. Like, where are you going to put
I
it?
know, I
You know?
know.
So, the
Yeah.
other really interesting piece of data out of the Apalachicola area is from Torreya State Park. So, this video, it's really quick. It's like a 5-second snippet, but it was taped by a Bigfoot researcher known as Stacy Brown, who shot the video on a thermal imager, and not like a one that appears as like shades of color. It's just black and white. So it's really
Oh,
evident
okay.
what's alive, what's not. Um, and the creature is really super clear.
We'll add this into our Instagram and Facebook posts. So if you want to see the images that we've been talking about, go check out Field Notes from the Unknown on Facebook and Instagram.
And,
And you
and
can see
this one is fascinating. So what I want you to clue into is the couple of things that are really hard to dispute is one, the way that the creature's head sits directly on top of its shoulders without any kind of visible neck. We see that occasionally in people that are really into like deep bodybuilding, but
yeah,
my
where it's
query
just
to
like they just
you,
stop.
why would they be wandering around the goddamn middle of the, Florida Panhandle at night? Like, don't you have better
That's a
things
good
to do?
question, but they're bodybuilders and they live in Florida. So who knows,
Yeah,
man? Who knows?
it is Florida. It's a Florida man. The other weird thing about the video is as the creature moves, it's going from behind one tree to another tree. As it's moving across that space, the trailing leg, so the leg, not the one it's moving on, but the one it's dragging along with it, comes up to nearly a 90-degree angle, which is a deeply unnatural stride pattern for a human.
Is it the video that was taken in 2000?
Let's find out.
Sorry, you're telling me about it, but I'm like, I need a visual.
Yeah, 2012.
2012.
2012. And when they did size comparisons, they compared the creature to like a 6'3" tall human, and it looked to be about another 2 feet taller than the human that it was compared to. The breadth of the creature too, but this is, pretty common in Bigfoot descriptions, is
I'm gonna need you to send me the.
the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's taller and it's wider than a human is. Significantly taller and wider. In a way that like it'd be really hard for a man in a monkey suit to do what they
To
did.
do it.
Yeah. And of course, again, we'll talk about this, but none of this is irrefutable proof. But it's certainly
It's
a
something.
fascinating story. Yeah. So that is, oh, I guess I'll send this to you so you've got it. Hang on, let me get I want to know what your
Live
live
reaction.
Yeah, the proof is out there. What's funny is we were just watching X-Files downstairs. I
I know
need
we're going as
proof!
like I know we're going as Rocky Horror for Halloween, but like we could be like
Mulder and
the
Scully,
X-File, yeah, and
but
then
like gender swap.
have our boyfriends actually dress up as cryptids.
You know, that's a great idea, actually. We could do that.
We could do that. All
Should we
right,
be Mulder, gonna be Scully?
I I'll be either.
We could be both. We could flip it half of the night.
Okay, I'm watching this now.
Also, is the audio still good? I moved the mic.
Yes, the audio is still good.
Okay, cool.
A park on a search for the elusive Bigfoot. They start hearing some noises, so they pull out their FLIR thermal camera and
Just stopped real quick.
They're
And
so
then Dad
Florida.
looked and he's like, "Oh, I see something."
the thermal camera is rolling as Stacy Sr. notices a little black object sticking out of one side of a tree.
Then it takes off and crosses this gap,
Oh,
and he goes into full
Right?
panic mode. The camera
that was like really big.
He's like, "Where we
Yeah.
gotta go." He's like, "Do you got your
I
truck?"
don't know.
Stacy Jr.
Florida.
gets a first peek
Well,
at the
fuck it. If I was in
eye-popping
Florida
creature.
in the Everglades
This
or
money shot.
Appalachicola,
I
I'd
know
have button
exactly what
guns for
we
the
had
alligators.
on Tuesday night is
Literally.
Yeah. No, he makes a great point.
He first asks the most obvious question.
That, yeah. I'll even try and get like a still screenshot in there because like that was, you could definitely see something.
What the fuck is that? Yeah, if it's not, what is
It's
it?
not a
It's
man.
something. Yeah.
I don't think it's a man.
Nope. Nope.
Ooh, that was nice.
Yeah, I really like that one. That's probably one of the hardest to dispute pieces of. It's not great, but it's one of the hardest to
It's
dispute
not
modern
great.
videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to say it's probably hard to dispute because it literally is black and white.
Mhm.
But like you have the measurements and you have the measurements of, a normal, regular, average size male, which
Yeah.
is definitely not that.
Yeah. And although it is black and white, there are landmarks in the video, so it's really easy to figure out where it was taken. So
Yeah.
it makes that size estimate even more accurate. So what the hell is 8 feet tall, that thick, running around the woods with a
Hanging
flashlight?
out
Like, yeah,
in Florida.
this is why I'm not going to Florida.
I
You
think
know?
we should go to Florida.
No,
Come on.
maybe. Actually, ironically, like
I
this
won't put a
week,
pig mask on in Florida.
this week there's a Skunk Ape festival going on in Florida.
Nuh-uh.
Seriously,
I'm gonna
Swear-
tell my
swear.
mom to go.
It's hang on, am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. No, the Florida Bigfoot Conference, June 13th in Ocala, Florida.
It's the 17th.
We missed it. Yeah, we missed it. It was last weekend.
It happened last weekend. Okay.
We'll hit it up next year.
We could. We
We
could.
Add it to the list.
Add it to the list. Yes.
Yeah. So sightings obviously continue. One of the most recent ones I found in the BFRO was in 2017. There's a group of witnesses near Ocala, Florida, which is north of Orlando, and where that Skunk Ape Festival is currently, was on June 13th. A family was out driving jeeps through the forest when they noticed a figure about 100 yards away. It was upright on 2 legs with long swinging arms and appeared to be covered in reddish-brown shaggy fur. They were impressed especially by the huge breadth of the shoulders, and they observed it for about 30 seconds before it disappeared into the trees. And these were hunters. They knew it was not a bear. It was not a bear. So encounters continue actively all the time.
And again, that goes back to it's not orangutan or literally anything like that.
Uh-huh. Yep. So if one might be interested to learn more, they could perhaps get on down to Florida and visit the official Skunk Ape Research Headquarters, located in Okeechobee, Florida, which is nearby the
freaking
Great
way.
Cypress Swamp. And the official Skunk Ape Research Headquarters is the thought child of a Dave Shealy, who himself has had multiple skunk ape encounters. Both Dave and his son Jack are skunk ape believers, and Dave has in fact seen the skunk ape 3 different times, culminating in a video that he actually took. And this, I think, was a video you found in 2000. That video is also fuzzy, but it clearly shows.
Yes,
Yeah.
it shows something.
Yeah. It's an upright brownish red figure that is moving with ease through what Dave said is about 3 feet of water and then high brush. So I would like to see KCU try to run through 3 feet of water and high brush with ease.
I'm not going to.
Yeah, me
I
either.
have a hard time running as it is.
Yeah, me too. I will not be
got-
running unless I'm running from something.
I
Probably
got
the
weak
skunk.
ankles.
Yeah.
I love this Bigfoot series for one.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Clearly could have come this for like decades, you know.
I just want to think about something. So skunks have tails. It's literally just the stripe that goes down this. It doesn't have a tail, nothing like
no
that.
tails. No tails. Not even a tuft.
They could just call it a line back. Like
A what?
just a line back. Like just something that has a line on its back.
It doesn't, I don't know. Skunk Ape, I feel like has a lot more, I don't know, of an earthy quality, you know?
I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know. Like there are cows that have lines down their backs, and we don't call them skunk cow. Yes, we do.
Do you?
Yeah. At least,
Line back?
yeah.
Line back cattle?
Line backs. They got line. I don't know if it's the technical word, but what I called them when I was growing up.
No, that's a thing. They're a rare historic American land race known for distinctive white dorsal stripe.
See?
So says the Goog machine.
It's a line back. And some of them are also orange. Are we sure this just isn't a cow?
I mean, if cows, you know, were able to walk on 2 feet and run through the Florida Everglades, sure.
I, wouldn't put it past them, to be honest with you.
Weirder things have
That'd
happened,
be creepy.
honestly. Yeah.
Weirder things have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Casey, what do you give this one on the believability scale? A 5?
5. 5.
Yes!
5. Florida's crazy. They
Florida
have so
is.
many things. They have so many places that aren't explored to hide. And, I think there's something out there.
Yes.
That video.
I agree.
The videos. Okay? When I Googled it, or when I looked it up, not one video, but several videos came up.
Mm-hmm.
And they look pretty good. So, I'll say.
They are.
But yeah, I'm going to give it a 5.
Dense.
What about you?
5 out of 5, baby.
It's so dense.
So dense.
Is this our first 5 in 5?
Oh, no. I think
it is our first 5 in 5.
You gave the Grouse Man 5
Did we
and
give
5.
the last one 5?
You did.
5
Yeah.
and 5.
You've been really generous with the Bigfoot.
I have been really generous. I'm going to have to stop that.
You got to dial it back. It's going to go to my head.
Go back. I know.
Yeah. All right. Well, we would love to hear your rating of the Skunk Ape on a 1 to 5 believability scale.
Yeah, if you're in Florida, tell us your field notes. Get out there. Do some research on the ground.
But be careful. Bring a flashlight. Pack enough water.
Don't.
Eat.
Don't.
Be careful.
Go raw dog it.
No, absolutely don't. You could die.
You could
actually die.
You'll be fine.
That Dave guy that we talked about, he had to be airlifted like 2 or 3 times out of the Everglades because he fucking got bit by a poisonous snake. Yeah.
Fuck, Dave, you think after the first time you might stop? Christ.
I think that does us.
All right, guys. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, everywhere at Field Notes from the Unknown. Send us your field notes at Gmail. Field notes from the unknown
at gmail.com.
You get the idea.
Yeah.
And that's it for us, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
I'll see you later. Bye.
All right, I'm going to hop off and I'll hop back on.
Bye.